everyone, welcome to Motonexus. I am Clay Baker, and please follow us on Facebook and on YouTube. Today we're going to do something rather unique. I'm going to learn how to make a mold to reproduce this little rubber part, which just doesn't seem to be available anymore. So please follow along and we'll learn together how to make a mold and reproduce rubber parts. This is the Suzuki GS1000S in my collection, and that little rubber part goes right here. It covers up the end of the trim on the fairing, and almost every one of these bikes that I've seen is missing that part. I happen to have one original part, and so that's why I'm taking the time to try to reproduce it, make a matching set. The first thing that we need is something to make our mold in so that the part can be reproduced. What I wanted was just something small enough for this one part, because I don't need to make many of them right off. And I wanted to have a taper so that the silicone mold, the urethane mold I'm going to make, can come out of that fairly easily. What we're going to do is start by mixing up equal parts of the A and B urethane that will make the foundation of the mold. I'm going to let that set up a little bit and then push my part down into that base material, the bottom part of the mold. And then once that's set up, and I'm going to push it down until it's just showing this top edge. Once that's set up, then I can come back and I'll pour another layer over the top of this. There'll be some release agent poured on that to help keep them separated. But that second layer will then create the top piece of the mold, and that's the side from which I'm going to inject my material to make the reproduction parts. Follow along, see how it goes. I'll try to keep all the mistakes in so you can see where I flub up so you don't do the same. And we'll move on with making reproduction molded parts. I want this top edge of my part to sit right in there. So 50 milliliters is just under 2 ounces. So I'm going to make up about 2 ounces of my urethane rubber, and that will become the base foundation down here that I'm going to push the part into. But I'm going to let it sit for a bit. It's got about a 30-minute open time before it fully sets. So I'm going to let it sit for a few minutes so that when I push my part down into it, it doesn't sink all the way to the bottom. I could see that my part would just sink right through this. So I definitely want to wait a little bit to get my part down into it. And hopefully I get that full undercut the way I need to. If I don't, then, you know, make a new mold. I'll try another approach. And we'll get it up to that 50 millimeter mark. You're learning with me, folks. Here we go. All right, I think it's actually going to hold up in there. There it is. All right, so hopefully that doesn't sink, so we won't play with that anymore. We'll let that set up. I've pulled the original part out of the mold, but it sank in way deeper than I had hoped. And so getting it out of there was a real problem. I can see inside that it did, in fact, create the shape that I want, and I guess I could cut this away. But this is a really inefficient mold, so I'm going to try something new. This was a fail, but we're learning. We're definitely learning. So on we go.